It's 50 Plus Life on Demand, and I'm Louise Skeen, and today is Mindset Monday. And today I'm reading out a question from a lady in Sydney, and her name is Georgie. So Georgie, thank you so much for your open and honest question here to me. So I'm just going to pick a little bit out of it because it's a pretty long question, but I think we can get the gist of it by me reading out saying, "Hi Louise, my name's Georgie and I live in Ryde in Sydney. I'm 58 years of age and I'm in my second marriage." Now, what Georgie is asking, she's saying, my husband and I sat down the other night and he said to me that I'm a very disempowered person and I'm disempowering to him and to the friends and family members around me. This obviously hurt me very much, and what I need to know is, how can I better myself so that I am not disempowered or disempowering other people, because it breaks my heart that my husband thinks that I am this way. Now, this is a very open question, and I'm so glad, Georgie, and for anyone who might be feeling this way too, let me see if I can break it down. I'm not a marriage counsellor. I know you're not asking me for marriage advice here, but it is very hard to be told you are a certain way when you have no inkling or feeling that you might be that way that might be described to you. And certainly with what you've said here, Georgie, you're a little bit taken back with what's been said. I don't know you, so I don't know your personality, but I'm sure you're beautiful, as we all are. But of course, it's what we've etched into our CD of life, our experiences, our emotions, our words that we've had said to us, and what we've believed and what we've, rejected, all these type of things that we've etched into our CD of life. So naturally, we're feeling, there are ways that we would be now feeling lesser of who we really are, maybe, or who we were years ago, because we've had so many experiences. I hope that makes sense. But look, let me ask you a few questions, or anyone who might be feeling as though they've got a lot of negativity in their life and it may be impacting them personally, their relationships, whether it's in the home, the children, the extended family, the workplace, social friends, whatever it might be. If you're feeling a lesser person, if you're being told you're a lesser person than you think you are, let me ask you a couple of questions. And it's not for me to give you the answer to this as much as just to raise the questions for you to ponder and have a think about. Okay, let me ask you, do you feel as though you've got limited thinking? Okay, do you think that you might be saying to yourself, I can't do, I can't have, I can't be, whatever? Okay, are there circumstances in your life where you catch yourself saying that? Maybe I can't have that because I am not worthy of it, or I can't do that, I've never done that well, so why on earth would you think that I can do that now? I can't have that experience, I've got so much fear around there. Okay, this is what I mean. If you've got this limited thinking around you, well, naturally, if you're living in that world of limited thinking, it's not a negative, like it's not wrong to have limited thinking, but how often are you having those limited thoughts, and who are you around at the time you might be having those limited thoughts? Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to raise. The other thing is the perfectionism. If you feel that there's this need to be perfect, everything that you do must be perfect. Now, I'm not saying, Georgie, that you are this way, but I'm raising it for you and anybody else who might be watching, Mindset Monday today. And that is, if you live in a world of perfectionism, if you find that you're not doing things to the standard, to the standard that you expect of yourself, or you're living around people or with people or in a workplace where nobody else is doing it as well as you think that they should be performing something, saying something, doing something, that could be a world of perfectionism. And I do believe that there are people who are high achievers in this world, and that's all good. And it's good to be, have a sense of perfectionism around things. But sometimes as a perfectionist, you actually outweigh the people who are high achievers, because a high achiever will achieve something and go, that's great, I've achieved that and I'm happy with that, and that is final. Where a perfectionist doesn't stop at that. A perfectionist is going to be constantly bashing themselves up that it's still not good enough, or you don't have enough knowledge around something, or that person around you is not doing it well enough. Okay, so I hope I'm not hitting too many pain points here, but this is something that, again, you've asked me the question, I need to raise it to you, Georgie, that, I'm raising it. Are you in that perfectionism world? Are you living in perfectionism? Because it is outweighing a high achiever, and we don't want to go beyond a high achiever. And it's great to have certain goals that you're reaching for, but ask yourself, those goals that you're setting, are they hurting or making the people around you feel vulnerable because they're not up to the standard of your beliefs? Okay? The other one is, do you live in a world of constant depressiveness or feeling depressed or depression? Because again, of the factors of that limited thinking or that perfectionism need, it could be driving you to depression. And of course, that in itself is going to bring the people around you down, because you're beating yourself up unconsciously, subconsciously, without even realizing it. You could be in a state of down constantly without realizing it, and it's bringing those around you down because they can't break through to you because you're not seeing it, but they might be seeing something but not understanding what that something is. All right, again, I'm just raising these. The other thing is the relationships that you have, like your home relationship. If you're with a partner in life, and in your case, Georgie, you are, but again, for anybody listening to this or watching this, if you've got a partner in life, children, an extended family, a workplace, people in the church, people in your social circle who are just staying a little bit distant from you, okay? If you're feeling the tension, if you're feeling distance, if you're feeling excluded, these are all the things that could be happening because, again, of those things I spoke about today. So with your husband, Georgie, who's saying that you're, in his mind, living in a world of negative and you don't see it, look, I don't know. This is something that you would need to break down within yourself first. Hopefully from the points I've given you today, hopefully there's something there that you could go, aha, Louise, I'm understanding what you're saying. Maybe I am a perfectionist. Maybe I do live in a world of depression. Maybe I have got issues around things that have happened in my past that I've created stories from that, a belief about myself that's really negative, and now I can see that I am bringing down the people around me. Because as you would realize, Georgie, as you would realize if you're listening to this, we are a reflection of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. And it's really hard to be living with someone, and I'm not saying you are this way, Georgie, but living with negativity around us all the time. And I'm going to give you a very quick understanding of this right now. And I've got to be careful with what I say, but I care for my parents I've got 2 other brothers, but I care for my parents greatly in the sense that my mother in particular, I spend a lot of time with her. I spend a lot of time getting her out of her negative situation, and she's in her 80s, living with my dad, her husband, who's in his now going into late 80s, and he suffers with Parkinson's and he suffers with dementia. And it brings my mother down, like I'm sure you can imagine. Every day, every moment of every day, living in that negative state of not being able to communicate with my dad. But that negativity reflects so deeply in my mother's world right now, that she is so negative about her life and what's left for her, and the way she has to nurse my dad. And you know what? I get it. My brothers get it. We get it. But when I spend that time with my mum, the time I'm spending is so negative. It's so heavy because she is experiencing so much heaviness. She doesn't realize, and she needs to have some positive, some joy in her life. And I get it 110%. And I know I'm going off your story here, Georgie, but this is what I mean. This is how people who are living in a world of negative or limited beliefs or lesser value of self, how it can really impact those around them. And it certainly impacts me when I go to see my mum, because I would love for my mum to be in a certain state. I'd love my mum to be in this positivity, but when I go there, I get the negativity all the time and the stories and the way she feels. And I'm not complaining, but what I'm saying is I understand that negativity. So I hope with what I've shared with you today, with my personal life, I hope with the things I've raised with you today, Georgie, and anyone listening to this, I hope it's opened up a little bit of, okay, I'm getting it. Because we are, again, a reflection of the 5 people we spend most time with. So if those people are in a state of negativity, then it will bring you down. It will put you into depression. It will give you a limited belief and a limited thinking. And if you feel that you are that way, Georgie, or you don't believe that you are, but you are now being told that you are, then maybe there's something in your world that's creating that for you, because you're in an environment with other people who are bringing you down. Okay, so I know I'm really passionate about it. I know I've probably shared a lot with you there on those 12 minutes or more, but I hope you get one thing out of that, Georgie. I hope if it's not one thing, it's many things. And if you're listening to this, I hope there are some aha moments there for you as well. Thank you, Georgie, for that question. Please write back to me if you wish to. Whether it's positive or negative, write back to me, because I'd love to know how you're traveling with what I've said with you, how you might channel that. Maybe I can help you even further. All right, that's Mindset Monday. Let's live well. Let's really live in positivity as best we possibly can, because it's been a tough year. I don't need to tell you that. 2020, oh my gosh, looking forward to a bigger, brighter year in 2021. But please, if you like what you've heard today, if you want to follow me on YouTube, please, Louise Skeen, like my channel, my 50 Plus Life on Demand, and I have my Mindset Mondays, I have my Weight Down Wednesdays, and I have my Fitness Fridays. So yet again, thank you, and I hope to see you again soon.